All right. I love that little music. It's great. I have that fade out automatically there. I can buy it right here. There we go. All right.
Okay.
It's always good to have the music,
Yeah.
especially for a party like this.
And I've got one of my favorite holiday decorations.
Yeah.
It's this cute little wine bar.
Yep.
With the couple sitting out front. This is one that we got it at Menards a couple years back, and you know, I'm an artist, and I'm fussy and I'm picky. It wasn't painted very well, so I like completely repainted all this, and the little people, and actually like they were just sitting there with wine glasses, and I thought, well, that's really boring. So I sculpted a little cheese plate for them. and like I put up. I think I fixed up their
you see the little cheese plate that she made right there.
I had
awesome.
This 2-part epoxy clay that, you know. Oh, and I made furry boots for her because she just had like weird shoes on, and I was like, that's not right. So.
Welcome everybody to
the
the wine webinar. Thank you for joining us for our Twin Cities free wine webinar.
Whoop,
Good
whoop.
times. Woo! And let us know in the chat that you can hear us. Make sure we're coming through all right. This could be cool. We got more and more people joining us live right now, so it's awesome. This could be a fun one. So the theme of tonight is deep winter wines. Deep winter wines. With the idea being, you know, just hints and tips and ideas as far as drinking wine during the really cold weather. Now we're not cold right now because I turned the thermostat up because it's Friday night and I'm going to relax and enjoy. But it has been a real winter around here so far in Twin Cities, which I like.
Let's check this out right now.
It is
18 degrees.
18 degrees.
Which is actually warmer than it was this morning.
Yeah.
So, but still.
Yep. Feels like 6 with a low of -2.
Because it's cold and like windy. So that
awesome. There we go. We got some comments going on. People are actually watching us. Yay. Awesome. Cool. All right. So without further ado, let's get started on this whole topic here. And I think you can probably predict a few of the things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be throwing some curveballs in there as well. And then shaping the discussion and hopefully teaching some cool ideas about things. So first, let's start off with a very controversial beginning, and let's pour some more wine here.
Okay.
Do you know a little bit more?
Yeah. What's the very controversial?
The controversial thing is what I'm about to say. And that is,
you haven't prepped me on this at all. I have no idea.
You have no idea what's happening.
I have no idea what you're going to say.
Chardonnay needs oak. Ooh. And I of course, we had that problem with over oak Chardonnays for a long time in the 1990s and 2000s. We've weaned ourselves off of that. I mean, there's still a couple of brands that have, you know, overtly horrible amounts of oak. There's a brand out there called Butter. There's, of course, Rombauer, which is kind of like biting into a 2x4. You know, and you lose all the subtlety. But what I'm here to say is that the unoaked Chardonnays, the purely unoaked Chardonnays that I've had in the last couple of years, I don't like those very much either.
Are fermented in stainless and aged in stainless. They never see an oak barrel, not even a neutral oak barrel.
And I have a neutral one.
And maybe that's a great way to make Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah. If you want to make Sauvignon Blanc, make Sauvignon
really
Blanc.
Fresh and crisp. But I agree with you. I feel like those completely 100% unoaked Chardonnays are too acidic, but unlike Sauvignon Blanc that has the citrus that is okay with being that acidic, Chardonnay doesn't have that much citrus. It's more orchard fruit. So it's just like a really, really tart green apple. And it's not, I don't enjoy it very much.
So the one that we're drinking right now is the Arsonist Chardonnay. This is from Dunnigan Hills. Dunnigan Hills is an area that nobody really visits and very, very few people know about. But the Dunnigan Hills are northwest of Sacramento, kind of on the next mountain range over from Napa Valley. So you have Napa Valley, and then you go over the east range there, and then you drop into the valley there, and that's the Dunnigan Hills. It's a great area for growing grapes, but it's totally off the radar as far as tourism. And this whole idea of Chardonnays need some oak was really brought up to us clearly by Matt Licklider from Lioco. And Lioco, for a long time, when Lioco first started, they were going to be the purists. They were going to be we're not adulterating our wine at all.
It's going to be the pure expression of the
terroir,
grape and the pure grape. And so they started doing Chardonnay completely unoaked.
Yep, all stainless steel in order to kind of make that point. And then about 3 or 4 years into it, they actually had to send a letter out to all their distributors kind of apologizing and saying, hey, we realize that our wines have been really hard to sell, and tasting back through them and doing a few tests, we've come to a conclusion: Chardonnay needs oak. Simple as that. So
and they basically just kind of backpedaled and said, we tried it. You know what? It just doesn't work as well done that way.
Yep.
Now, that doesn't mean that Chardonnay has to be an oak bomb.
Right.
And, I think of white Burgundies where they just have this beautiful, just subtle kiss of oak. It's almost like you don't even pick up on it, but there's just a richness to it. And there's a lot of neutral barrels that are used in the aging. And even if it is just 100% neutral oak,
right, that
barrel aging just, I feel like, brings out the rich orchard yum of Chardonnay.
And Matt at Lioco, I think, said it best. It's like trying to make unoaked Chardonnay is kind of like cooking meat without salt. You need to throw a little bit of salt on things in order to, just bring out the flavors.
You just get just enough so that it enhances the flavor, but it doesn't taste salty.
So in terms of winter weight wines, this is going to be our sole white wine, but I love drinking some textural Chardonnay during the colder months. And this one we're actually serving kind of at cellar temperature right now too.
Yeah, it's not nearly as cold.
Don't want to bring it down too cold.
A white to be. And this, it's not an oak bomb, but I think it's kind of right at that threshold of the amount of oak that I like in a wine. And also for me, drinking this just with nothing. Yeah. It's, it builds up a little bit. Yeah. I'd really like to have some cheese with this or something. Oh, I got something. Hold on.
Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. I'll be right back. Sounds good. Yeah. So this whole idea of Chardonnay, I think Chardonnay is being kind of unjustifiably ignored while we all attack for the new and the shiny and the unknown out there. And I'm guilty of that too. I love finding goofy new grapes. You all know that.
The quest for new and shiny. That's a thing.
It's always great.
All right. I don't know. I found this.
Oh yeah.
This little
wedge of blue cheese here.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's going to be very here. I brought just 2 little simple nuts just so we can just.
This is actually a leftover from our cheese webinar that we did.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Yep.
Well, that's fun because that's salty and earthy. That's a really rich, deep blue. It's not a sharp blue. It's a deep blue. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Now this is singing.
That's happiness.
That is very happy. Wait a minute. You take the cheese away. Don't take the cheese away. I would like to.
So it's great to start off that way. Now we're going to be moving into
leave the cheese here. We might want it with some of those ports.
Okay.
It might be really good.
Sounds good. We're going to be moving into a very, very special concoction here. Next up, we have the Smoking Bishop. And you're in charge of this.
I am in charge of this. Okay. Now, in the notes or in the comments, in the chat, we've posted 2 versions of the recipe. Now, this is the only warm mulled wine that I actually really like. Yeah.
You're picky about that.
I'm picky. It can't be too sweet. It can't be too spicy. It can't be too boozy. Yeah. I'm very particular. And the Smoking Bishop, like the traditional recipe, has always worked really well for me. But if you're reading through it, you see.
So there's the Smoking Bishop.
There's an old drawing of Smoking Bishop. It's smoking because it's served just at that. It shouldn't boil ever, but it's just starting to steam, so it's smoking. But what I like about it is that it's just kind of like a gentle flavors, and that original recipe is really good. Yep. But if you read through it, I mean, you're roasting, you're putting cloves in fruit, you're roasting fruit in the oven. The recipe that I found, or that I started using a long time ago, it doesn't even tell you what temperature of the oven. And then it tells you to put the fruit with the cloves in a earthenware bowl and leave it somewhere warm for a day. And as much as I love this recipe, it's a little old school. I mean, and if you love the ritual of doing this, it's kind of fun, but a lot of times it's like I end up not making it because I don't have time to do all this fussy fuss.
Yeah.
So
I just put a link to the text version of the recipe as well.
Okay. So this year I decided I'm going to shortcut it and see if I can make smoking bishop in like under 2 hours. Instead of this roasting things for hours and then letting everything sit for 24. So you talk to the people. I'm gonna go get it.
Okay. So this can be fun because when I got home from the day of work today, the house smelled great, and Ange was in science mode, combining all these ingredients. And like she mentioned, we're pretty picky about wine concoctions like this, and this is the only one that we really enjoy as a warmed drink. But this particular recipe is great. You've really honed this thing in.
Yeah. So hopefully. The quick version here. So what I ended up doing is just
jump from my computer.
I'm not going to hit your computer. It's just slicing the fruit.
Yeah, here.
And then dusting them with ground clove and throwing them in the oven at a 300-degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, just so that they kind of start to caramelize a little bit around the edges and just concentrate the flavor. Then I threw it right in with the wine and the port and a little bit of sugar, and just adjust the sugar as necessary. Now, because this is, and it's been simmering on the stove, or not simmering, but on a very, very low flame for like about half an hour now.
Okay.
So, here's your mug.
Thank you.
And because I'm doing this quick, I did not take the time to strain it yet. So that's why I've got the little sieve on top of the mug. Perfect. There. Okay, there's your sample.
Ooh, smells good.
Yeah, it does. I love the
it just
orangey.
Smells so Christmassy.
Yeah, here,
it's so nice
stuff. So we're gonna see if this fast version is a worthy substitute for.
So this is the first time you're doing the fast version.
This is the first time I've done this fast version. I thought, well, how different could it be? You know. All right. Okay. Let's put this guy over here. All right.
All right. Here we go.
Smoking bishop.
Smoking bishop.
Look at it. And there it is. It's smoking. As you can see.
Awesome.
It smells good.
Oh, that's approved.
Oh, yeah.
That's approved.
That is very much approved. I think,
Yum.
If I'm
yum.
Yeah. Crushed for time. This definitely works.
Well, and in terms of using good wines for this, we used a really, really cheap Spanish red, and then we used just a good basic port, the Noval Black. And for our batch here, you only need a tiny little bit of port.
Well, because it's a sample, I reduced it to just a quarter batch rather than a full batch because I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of wine, and we're not having a party tonight, so it's like I don't need to have a huge bucket of mulled wine.
We'd probably drink it.
We probably would.
Go to the hot tub
but
later.
Because the Spanish wine was a little higher tone, a little more acidic, I ended up adjusting the recipe to add more sugar. So it really depends on the red wine you use. If you're using something that's like something Italian or like that Spanish that's high acid, you're going to want probably reduce I didn't have a grapefruit, so I was like, well, I'll just use lemon. And I think the lemon's
actually better.
I think it is too. But I think maybe especially because of the acidic nature of the wine, I could have cut back on the lemon a little, and I added I went back and added sugar a couple more times just until it started to taste right. But it's not crazy sweet. And like if you're using something like Apothic Red, you might not need any sugar at all because that stuff's so sweet. But yeah, this is really good.
Or Camus Cab. Awesome. Smoking Bishop.
I probably wouldn't do it with a cab. No. Just there's too much tannin.
Too much tannin. Yeah.
Something that's a little fresher. Merlot. Merlot.
Yeah, Merlot would be great with it.
Especially when you're adding
Yeah.
the lemons.
Barbera.
To make more acidic. Yeah.
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 Good stuff.
Anyway,
all right. So
okay, I'm done with this.
your homework is to download that
Mm-hmm.
that text file of Smoking Bishop and make yourself some Smoking Bishop in the next few days.
Man, this is good.
Yeah, it is good. It's really good.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a warm version of the Ratafia.
Yeah. From Alexis Bailey.
I've always loved the Ratafia from Alexis Bailey, and this is kind of vibing like that.
Yeah, it's kind of a red wine version.
Yeah, and while I was researching, trying to see, well, what else is out there versus my like super old school, like probably taken from some 1850s text, like put everything in an earthenware bowl. I was, and there's a ton of Smoking Bishop recipes out there, and a lot of them throw the kitchen sink of baking spice in
way
there.
Too
Allspice and nutmeg and cinnamon and this and that and everything. And I think
too much.
And I think that's the problem I have with most mulled wine is that there's too much spice.
They're trying to be a little bit of everything for everybody instead of just being its own thing.
I don't care for everything bagels either.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. I get overwhelmed. I'm sensitive. I get overwhelmed. So this I love because it's just citrus, like orange, and then a little sour citrus like the lemon. I think the lemon does a better job than the grapefruit. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And then just clove.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little spice, but not overpower it.
Right.
So it's more like wine rather than spicy punch.
Yep.
And
I love it.
And I think the port adds just enough of a kick without having to add brandy to make it really high proof. So, is George on there? Hi, George.
George wants to say hi.
George. Here. Everyone say hi to George.
Yeah, a rare appearance by George.
Oh,
look at how happy he is.
George.
Hi, George.
Yeah.
Wave hi. Hi.
George.
All right. There you go.
Okay.
Bye, George.
Okay. Bye, George.
All right.
Okay.
That's awesome. Yay, George. Good job.
Thank you, George. Oh man, this is good.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I might have to get another scoop in my mug as we continue on.
But we have lots of stuff.
I know we've got stuff, but I've got a glass here for it, and my mug is reserved for something else, which is Smoking Bishop.
All right, I'm going to dump out your Chardonnay here.
Okay, you go ahead and do that. I'm going to
moving on to the next one here.
I'm going to ladle in a little bit more.
It's going to be fun. All right. So coming up next, the category of Zinfandel. Dun, dun, dun. Alexander Valley Vineyards. Zinfandel from Alexander Valley. And this is going to be a fun one. So Zinfandel, a great natural choice for cold weather drinking because Zinfandel crops out or ripens with higher natural sugar levels than other grapes, which translates into higher alcohol. And if you want that warm feeling inside of you for the winter time, Zinfandel does a great job. Now, this one's at 14.5, which is actually kind of moderate for some Zins. I've been seeing 15.3s a lot lately. Martinelli, of course, does like 16.9, which I think it's a little bit too intense. But anywhere in that kind of 14 to 16% range has that little bit of kind of winter boozy quality that we should not be afraid of or ashamed of.
Winter boozy.
No, I'm serious about this, because there's been a lot of really down talk lately about what's the alcohol level, and I'm not talking about the alcohol in general health debate that's always going on, but I'm just talking about what is the correct level for a wine. The correct level for a wine is where it's balanced, and that's really what it's all about.
And again, like we've seen on charts where people have measured the alcohol level of a wine and just how in balance it feels. It's not a bell curve.
It's not a bell curve.
It's like
Clark Smith described it as tuning in a radio. Like an old school radio where you're turning the dial and you suddenly get signal, you lose signal, you get signal. That's what alcohol actually does within a wine. It's been proven where a wine gets de-alcoholized back about 4%. So you start off at 15% or whatever. You bring it down to 11. You add the alcohol back in micro doses, and then you have blind tasters taste it, and it's not a bell curve. The balance is found at different points, which is very, very interesting. So, George
wants boot.
Okay, so here's what happens with George. So a little peek into our life here.
George wants boot.
Yeah, George really, really likes getting rubbed by feet.
Yeah,
he's got a little bit of a foot fetish going on.
Yeah, and he doesn't mind if you get a little aggressive with it.
Yeah,
and sometimes if like you use your hands or your scoot, so and then he'll start scooting, and then you have to chase him. And
I'll grab him and lay him on his back on the rug and rub him back and forth across the rug there,
and you can hear the static electricity crackling,
and he just starts purring,
and he's got that big kitty smile, and his eyes are closed, and he's purring, and he's just going back and forth. He's very unusual in that. I've never had a cat that likes something like
very
that.
Odd. All right, so getting back to Zinfandel, I think that sometimes too often lately anyway, a lot of people are looking at the alcohol level first and making it excuse me. Sorry, George. Scared George.
Yep, he's gone.
Yep. And people make a judgment call on the wine based on the alcohol level. And we have a lot of stuff coming up in 2026 about this, and making sure that this is kind of handled differently in terms of how people talk about wine. Where I've got a lot of opinions, if you can't tell. If you want to hear more of these opinions, tune in for the Festivus webinar coming up on the 23rd, where I can air my wine grievances. And
we will talk about wine feats of strength.
Yeah, feats of strength,
and we will have the Festivus poll.
Oh yeah, don't give it all away.
I'm just saying, that's just standard.
Yep. Standard stuff.
Yep.
So but yeah, be sure to join us on, what is that, Tuesday? Yeah,
the 23rd.
Tuesday. Yep, 23rd. For Festivus. All right. So last thing on Zinfandel. I've been finding a lot of good Zins lately. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if maybe winemakers got together as a club and started to compare notes or something like that. But there's just been a wave of great Zins out there right now. They're firing on all cylinders. Price points from the less expensive all the way up into the 40s and 50s. I don't think I've found a Zinfandel that I haven't smiled about in months. And that's just really cool. It used to be a little bit scattered as far as the styles that were out there, and now it just seems like everybody's kind of snapped up a little bit, and they're taking winemaking detail more seriously with Zinfandel. Zinfandel wants to be powerful but beautiful at the same time. And that's a hard line to head.
It is. It's because it seems like you're asking opposite things of the wine. Big and bold, but yet beautiful. And it's like that's kind of a contradiction in most wines. You're either really big and powerful.
You know what?
Or you're
let me take that back. I think that maybe Zinfandel winemakers lately have released big and bold, and simply are focusing more on being in shape or muscular. We love soccer. You and I watch European soccer all the time, and those dudes are in football, and those dudes are in massively incredible shape. They are. And but they're not big, but they're muscular. I think that's what Zinfandel is trying is they're finding that's actually what Zinfandel wants to be. Not big, but powerful.
It has power, but yet it is elegant. It's an elegant power. Or a powerful elegance.
However
you want to go. But
as long as they're not Jack Grealish and just like falls on the turf all the time. Oh no, my leg. Oh no. I hurt myself. Oh, shocking. Jack Grealish just.
Oh no.
Those of you who know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Oh no, right. Grealish is down again.
Alert. Grealish is down.
Oh, you took a dive.
All right. Let's go into another category for winter wine fun. This is something that I think is really important, and that is Grenache-based wines from the Southern Rhone Valley. So we've got a little Rasteau right here. Whoop, there we are. Little Rasteau right here. Rasteau is a little tiny, kind of weird sub-region in the Southern Rhone. So we all have heard of Châteauneuf-du-Pape. We've all heard of Gigondas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we all have drank gallons of Côte de Rhône.
Yeah.
But Rasteau is one of these kind of weird little spots that just recently, in terms of the history of French wine, gained their own AOC. It used to be that Rasteau was a village level for Côte de Rhône, and now they can say Rasteau right out prominently on the front label and have it be what it's all about. There we are, Rasteau. So Grenache base, and Grenache, like Zinfandel, crops out at a higher sugar level, which always translates into higher alcohol level.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon to find Côte de Rhônes, Châteauneuf-du-Papes, Gigondas, Rasteau, Lirac that are in the 15% range. This one is a little bit lower, actually. This one's at 14.8, I think, if I remember right. And when I drink Southern Rhone reds, it's like crawling into a blanket, okay? And a really nice blanket on top of that, you know, a nice wool blanket. We were in Portugal a couple months ago, and we were in the Serra da Estrela mountain range, which is the mountain range that separates northern Portugal from southern Portugal, and we were on the eastern edge, right on the Spanish border. No American tourists, and
no,
we were in a couple of villages where people are like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah, it's not. You know, there's hotels and restaurants. It's not devoid of tourism, but it's mostly locals
and Germans, a lot of Germans.
And a lot of Germans, and just other European travelers. But yeah.
So we were there, and we visited the Burrell wool factory, and it was phenomenal. It was like walking into the 1920s, the great industrial age, where sheep are sheared, and the wool goes into this one end of this 50-yard long loud metal machine.
It was
and it comes out as yarn.
Yeah, it was like some turn of the century machine. And, and it reminded me of like a Dr. Seuss contraption.
Like
I think about the Sneetches. Where the Sneetches, the star-belly Sneetches, some had stars and some didn't. And then there was this guy who invented these machines that would put that would put stars on their belly or take them off. And they were crazy contraptions. And this thing, watching it go, reminded me of those contraptions. George reminded me of that, because
George likes to reach up and touch as we're doing stuff.
There's a big bin where they would put the washed wool, not carded, but just washed, just clean wool. They would throw in there, and it would boom, and then it would tumble, and it would get carded, and then carded again, and then conveyor belts and spool wheels and all kinds of things.
Magic.
Until finally, at the very end, it was coming out as yarn and getting wound onto spools. And it was
all mechanized.
Right. Nothing digital.
I
mean, this is just, it was crazy. And they had the big looming, weaving machines there too. And they had a lot of them that were like turn of the century or very early 1900s. And then they had some that were more modern. We're talking like 1940, 1950. And
the modern ones from 80 years ago.
Exactly. And they said that the modern ones spun that wove the material faster. But the old ones were better quality,
more reliable too,
and more reliable, and they made a better quality woven good.
It was fascinating. It was just incredible.
Crazy.
Just incredible. Anyway. So anyway, we brought that up just because I talked about cuddling into a blanket.
Because we're talking about, because it's winter wines, and so part of winter is cuddling up under blankets and staying warm and cozy.
And we brought a couple of those Burrell blankets home with us.
We managed to pack them in the suitcases. It was not easy, but
they're on the bed right now, and the cats love it. Of course, it's all in support of the cats.
Right.
So all right. So get back to the wine.
Let's talk about the wine. We haven't been watching our
chat.
Our chat.
Nobody's saying anything.
Nobody saying anything?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, a couple of thank you, Angela from Paul Story.
No
Look at
problem.
that. We can do one of those right there.
Yeah.
And Joanne and Don are having some Covedo port.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep,
Very cool.
love that.
But any questions you got, throw it in the chat there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, it all comes here.
Yep.
Yeah, good software.
Okay.
All right, so Southern Rhone. Southern Rhone is running into a problem right now because of the problem that we're all facing right now is with global warming. And it started off as a hot area, and now it's getting really hot. So what's interesting about what's happening there, and part of the impact of global warming in the already hot zones, like Spain in general, Southern Rhone, things like that, is that when it gets super hot in the middle of summer in ways that it never used to, the vines shut down and they stop pumping chlorophyll.
It's almost
they protect themselves.
They protect themselves in almost the exact same way as they would in really cold temperatures.
Right.
Because it's too hot for them.
Right.
If they continue trying to do their thing, they're going to die.
Right.
So they
know
literally
it.
just
plants are smart.
They're just like, nope, too hot. We're just going to go to sleep.
Yeah, we're going to go to sleep for a few days here. And then that actually preserves the acidity. And so at a certain point with hotter temperatures in the Rhone Valley, they're actually making slightly higher acid wines, which seems totally counterintuitive.
I know, it seems crazy.
But it's what's happening, and it's a flavor profile that's adjusting. Rhone wines now do not taste like they did in the 1990s. You can, if you've been tasting Rhone wines for a couple of decades, few decades like we have, you notice it. There's a new flavor profile. Do I miss the old one? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for sure. Do I like the new one? Yeah, it's great. So there is an adaptation that's happening right now. But in terms of winter wine drinking, I don't think anything can beat a Southern Rhone.
Yeah, no, this is really good.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like we should have waited on the Bishop, Smoking Bishop, until right before the ports.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to get it out there, though. I was so excited about it.
I know you're excited. And just coming back to the Bishop, I would definitely strain it before you start serving it. I mean, I just did it this way because it was like, okay, I think it's done enough. Let's just do a taste test. But if I'm making this for a party or whatever, I would definitely strain it and then bring it back up to that temperature and then serve it.
So the question was, what red wine do we use in the Smoking Bishop? Protocolo, which is
that's what we used.
Which is just a good but cheap ass Spanish red. One of these like $10 a bottle wines. But worked great.
But I would
dry red.
A dry red or even a slightly not so dry red.
Yep. And look, Twinkie fan here. We just love listening to your stories. Aw, love.
Because
awesome.
we love telling stories.
We love stories.
And like I was saying, even if you're using like a box red wine,
works out great.
The only thing I would do with like most of the inexpensive box reds or something like Apothic Red, probably I would hold off on putting any sugar in it until after I was able to start tasting it and then adjust.
Let your taste buds
adjust the
lead
seasoning.
You.
And some people like things really sweet, and if that's your jam, go for it. Me, I like things to just have a kiss of sweetness. So to each their own. That's the thing that's great about this. You can alter it for however you need. Okay.
All right, ready for something controversial?
Ooh, more controversial than
Yep.
Chardonnay needs.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is a little curveball here. Here we go.
That's very good. Yes, a definite winter weight. I could see sipping that right outside. Put some blankets on the benches and have a fire out in the backyard and sip some of this. It'd be great.
We could do that tonight.
We could. No.
A little too cold?
It's kind of cold.
Okay.
I'm comfortable inside. If it was earlier and we were like, hey, let's bundle up and go out there, that'd be fun. But
I'm not going to show you this.
I'm starting to lean into bedtime now. I'm like, no, I'm inside. I'm cozy.
We used to do the date night webinars, 9 p.m. starts on Friday nights.
And those were good fun.
They were good fun, but that's past my bedtime. I'm a wimp. So, all right, let's move into this one. So,
Okay.
I poured this blind-ish for you.
Blind-ish. Yeah,
Yep.
kind of. I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't analyzing everything on the tray over there. So. It smells very grapey and purpley and jammy.
Grapey, purpley, jammy.
That's all I got right now. Okay.
All right.
What do we got here?
We have Durant and Booth Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley, aged in bourbon barrels.
Ah,
there we are.
That's the curveball because I'm like cab from Napa Valley. I'm like, it doesn't taste like that.
Yeah. So aged in bourbon barrels. Bourbon barrels are affordable. Because they've been used once to make bourbon in America. By law, it has to be aged in a brand new high toast American white oak barrel by law. And you use it once for that, and then
the bourbon houses can't use it again. Then they've got to buy new barrels for the next year. And barrels are really damn expensive.
Yep.
So
now because of that.
Right.
Yep.
But
so it used to be that Ireland took a lot of those barrels. They still do, but more and more wineries in California are using them now for aging wine because they want to kind of hitch their train to the bourbon crowd. They want to expand the wine base. And the first ones that came out, Robert Mondavi Company was making it. And God, they were horrible. Jesus.
Yeah, they weren't good. I think it's, like any brand new thing, it takes a while to dial it in.
Yep.
This, and of course, now that you tell me what it is,
right.
First off, it's got, some of that, kind of dark cherry cola thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the big tannic grip
that
I expect from other Cabernets from Napa Valley.
Yeah.
And when I'm smelling it and the taste, when it first hit my palate, I'm thinking that it's something port-like because it tastes fortified. But then as it goes past, as I'm drinking, I'm like, no, it's not as alcoholic. The alcohol isn't as high as a fortified wine would be.
Right.
It tastes like a port, but it's
obviously not a port.
It doesn't burn your throat. It doesn't. It's like I can tell. It's like no. The alcohol level isn't there.
Right.
So it's like a low alcohol port.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. And
kind of.
And after my initial, I'm the old jaded wine guy. This isn't right. We shouldn't be doing that, et cetera, et cetera. As soon as I got over that, I started to just taste the wine. It's like, this is fun. Why not play with flavor? And I'm very curious. And actually, I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to marinate some meat in that stuff.
Ooh,
and then,
and
then cook it and then enjoy the wine with that meat and see what happens. But it does bring this bourbony flavor, this essence.
There is
that high char barrel, but not new oak, but there's a lot of layers of stuff on top of it. I mean, it is kind of like throwing too many spices onto a dish, but that's okay sometimes.
But falling into this, it's like port, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not sweet.
Yep.
And it's not as high in alcohol.
Yep.
But it has the same kind of feel. And it's that's a weird balancing point to be at for me. But understanding what it is and enjoying it for what it is, I'm not mad at it.
No.
I think this is actually really lovely and really balanced.
I think it's really fun, and I think that people that might be coming over that are not wine people, but they're bourbon people. Here's a great way to introduce them to our world. So
there's a little bit of that tannin now, but not nearly as much as I would have expected from a California Cabernet.
So I think that kind of the biggest takeaway for this wine for me is I need to let go of my preconceived notions because I see a lot of people that are having fun drinking wines that I would have declared incorrect, not too long ago. Whether it's orange wines, natural wines, bourbon barrel age.
You had opinions?
Shocking, I know, right? Yeah.
Jason had opinions.
When did that happen?
Jason still has opinions.
But I'm trying to let go of it a little bit and just enjoy flavor.
I feel like
just flavor.
Some flavors, some wines I enjoy more than others.
Yeah.
And again, personal preference. It's like ice cream flavors.
Yeah.
And I feel like as long as I know what to expect, so I'm not making a complete wrong pairing at the table, like, having a lightweight salad and then ordering this wine. I mean, that would probably not be a great combo.
Yeah.
But if the wine is balanced and decently made, it's like, it's just a different flavor.
But that one for sure is really a winter weight. It's definitely winter. Right? This is not the kind of wine that I would just simply chill down and drink in the summertime.
No, it's heavier. And this blue cheese, I'm so glad that the blue cheese was on top of our cheese pile because it's a perfect thing for these wines.
Okay, the cheese pile. Let's talk about this really quick. We're buying a lot of our cheese right now at Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. We're Amazon Prime members, the way a lot of us are. And Prime members can take advantage of 50% off cheeses quite often. So what will happen at the cheese case at Whole Foods is that arbitrarily they'll slap a 50% off that one item, that one cut of cheese, because it's just getting old.
Yeah, it's been sitting there a while.
And getting old, sitting there for a while, means it's getting really good.
Means it's good. Yeah. Exactly. It's the exact same thing as cellaring your wine.
Yeah.
I mean, some wines definitely just, pop them and drink them. But you get some of those wines that really do improve with a little age.
Yeah.
So basically, the cheese case has been cellaring the cheese for us, and it's still perfectly good, but it's getting a little on the riper side.
A little ripe and funky.
And they want to make sure that it goes before anything truly bad goes, before they have to throw it away. So it's a win-win
for everybody.
I mean, it's like the
especially
cheese
us.
is even better because of it, and it's 50% off. What? Mind blown.
I know, right?
I know, especially when you get to some of those triple cream bries. Where they get really gooey and nummy in them.
I love those so much.
Yeah.
I love cheese.
But anyway, always having just like little bits, little slices, or like at Lund's where they've got the little and Whole Foods where they've got the little basket of offcuts. Yeah. Where it's just a tiny bit, not enough to keep in the case.
Don't look, don't think. Just close your eyes, reach in and grab as many as you can in one handful and drop them in your cart. And that's it.
You know what I love?
It's like cheese roulette.
It is. You know what I love? The Brits, instead of having grab bags or things like that, they have Lucky Dip.
Oh,
I love that
expression. The Lucky Dip.
Lucky Dip. So you just reach in. It just means, you just get whatever randomly happens. And you just reach in and you just Lucky Dip.
Yep.
Whatever.
Lucky Dip your way through.
Whatever you grab is
Thanks for grabbing this cheese.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So let's move into a incredible category.
Okay.
Wonderful category. A favorite category of ours. One that is infinitely predictable for this topic here, and we're going to be drinking some port. So we have Noval Black and Noval 10-year tawny. So we're going to do a little miniature port class. Okay.
It definitely has to be miniature because port is so complex and confusing.
Yep. So we're not going to be going deep into these at all. But we'll talk briefly about kind of how they're made and what's going on.
Okay.
I'm going to start with some Noval Black.
And this is what I used in the smoking bishop.
Yeah. So Noval Black is what's called a vintage character port. This is a ruby port. You can tell by the purple black color that's right there, as opposed to the tawny port that we're going to be having shortly. And it smells like raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries all macerated together with a bunch of brandy thrown on top. So 20% alcohol. Little goes a long ways.
Little goes a long way.
Warms you up from the inside. Do you remember in the 1970s watching...
with it.
In the 1970s, watching cartoons as a kid, and if there was a skier that got hit by an avalanche, then there'd be the goofy Saint Bernard.
Oh yeah, that was
that
just classic. Saint Bernard with the little barrel of brandy. On his collar.
And in the cartoon, the skier would get dug out and then just chug this brandy
cartoon,
down his throat.
TV show.
It was classic.
It was just the Saint Bernard with the little barrel of brandy on it.
Yeah. So
classic.
I don't want a Saint Bernard, but I like this idea. So
we know a guy who has Saint Bernards.
Yeah,
they're wonderful dogs.
Yeah,
they're huge.
God, they're huge.
They're so big.
Yeah, their poop is big too. That's the problem.
Yeah, so. Let's not go there.
Okay,
let's not go there.
What I'm thinking is that we get these little like airline size ones, tiny little.
What
ones.
Saint Bernards?
No, little barrels, and put them on the cats.
Oh my God!
Would that be awesome?
It would be really funny. Well, Oscar, our big orange guy, loves to play in fresh snow.
Yeah.
We'll let him out and he'll zip around and like a puppy.
Yeah.
And he'll dive into the snow. He's just having a blast. It would be hysterical to have a little barrel on him and film him while he's jumping around in the snow.
That'd be awesome. All right. Ruby Port, like we're drinking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby Port is ruby because it's been aged less in the oak barrels.
Mm-hmm.
So when you age the port for between 2 and 4 years, right around there, it keeps its color. It keeps that kind of purple black color, and it keeps its ripe fruit aromas.
Yeah, dark red purple.
Yeah.
Dark red with a purplish tint.
That's Ruby Port.
Yeah.
Just enjoy. And again, we're just skimming the surface here.
Mm-hmm.
We might do a whole masterclass port thing later on in the winter. We'll see.
Later
on. But then we have the 10-year tawny. So here's a little secret for everybody
What's
that not a lot of people know. 10-year tawny and 20-year tawny and 30-year tawny and 40-year tawny, which are indicated age tawnies, don't have to be aged 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
Oh.
It's a style, not a minimum aging.
Right.
So when they make this wine and they submit it to what's called the IVDP, which is the port council that approves everything, but that issues all the tax stamps and things like that, they taste it and they approve it as a 10-year style. Now, most port houses will average out at the indicated age. So Noval is one of those, where the 10-year tawny for Noval is actually averaging like 11 or 12 years of age. But
then
you don't have to.
And it's not a vintage. They're throwing in some port that's younger, some port that's older. They're mixing.
They're blending.
They're concocting until it tastes like the 10-year style should.
Yeah.
So there might be some wine that's only like 5 years old, and there could be a little dash of some port that's 15 years old.
Right, 15 or 20.
Or 20 even.
Yeah.
It's just they just play with it.
You can kind of see on the color there how you're getting a little bit more brown, a little bit more kind of maple syrupy looking, and a little bit more of that toffee aroma.
Like toffee and maple.
Yeah.
And that kind of zone.
It's the same juice that goes into making this Noval Black, but it's just aged longer and it turns into that. So
aged longer in a cask.
In an oak barrel, where you have some evaporation that happens, the level goes down, it gets more concentrated. Tawny port in general becomes more expensive as a result.
And that's what contributes to the color shift.
And the color shift. Back in the day, kind of when I first got into teaching about port, I would do a class. Then I'd kind of push the students a little bit. So who likes tawny more? Who likes ruby more? And I don't think that's a fair question anymore. I think they both have such distinctive personalities.
I don't. I think.
You think it's okay?
I think it's still okay. I think it's like a lot of times you'll ask people when you give them a flight of wine, which wine made them the happiest, which one, just that initial impression, which one is out of this in this moment, which one is your favorite? And I think because I think some people have I know that my mother did, and she had no idea what she was drinking other than ruby or tawny, and she knew nothing else beyond that. But she definitely had a pull towards ruby. She didn't do the tawny.
Put in the chat what you like more, ruby or tawny. Yeah, just in general.
And again, it's almost a trick question because there's so many different levels of ruby and there's so many different levels of tawny.
Yeah, and
they can. But just in general, that style, that rich red fruity berry,
right,
or the more caramely toffee maple,
exactly,
flavor, and
exactly,
yep. If you're simply just talking about that kind of basic flavor profile, I don't think it's a bad question.
Okay, sounds good. So, I love port. Oh, here we go. All right, so Jan says tawny over here. There we go. Yep. We got a lot of you watching. I can see the numbers. So, but people are just chilling out tonight.
That's okay.
You
just kick back with your wine. Don't care.
Just relax.
We're gonna keep talking. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that's the last one.
What? Oh, is it really?
Yeah. The last one? I mean, we can keep talking if you want to, but
Okay. I have cheese on my fingers. I have one last thing to pull out.
Ooh.
That you don't know about. And I'm going to unveil it right in front of you. And you are going, I think I know what your reaction is going to be. I think you're going to kind of like.
Well, no.
I'm not. Okay.
Find out.
I'm not going to tell you.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on. Be right back.
Yep. So
my antlers are falling off.
There we go. Need more data to answer. We can't agree.
That's true.
Tawny.
I think there's a lot of tawny fans out there.
What kind of glass are you drinking for? This is a Riedel Overture Red glass. The Riedel Overture Red is our go-to tasting glass. It's our baseline, and this is what we do all of our kind of professional tasting out of.
Yeah, so, and the classes that we do, the public classes, we pour everything in these.
Yeah.
It's just it's just a good solid glass.
Yeah. So I love it. The Overture Magnum is a bigger version of this for like big red wines. But the Overture Red, I think is the best all-purpose glass. Paul mentions I was told by a port maker that a good tawny was the talent of the maker, a good ruby was a gift of the gods.
I love that.
I followed up with, but I love tawny. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I go back and forth. I guess it depends on what I am eating, what I have eaten, just the mood I'm in.
Sure.
Is it being served with any kind of special dessert? Yeah, I go back. I can't with any definitivity say I prefer one over the other. I just enjoy good ports.
Have you ever made Swedish glögg?
Ooh, Swedish glögg. No, I haven't made glögg.
Yeah, I've seen glögg in the stores, but I've never bought it or tasted it. We've never made it. No, so
we'll have to do that.
It's just smoking bishop for us.
Yeah. But I will have to look at a glögg recipe and figure it out. Okay.
All right, what do we got here?
This.
Okay.
I was at Sierra, the kind of outdoorsy outlet store, and they have a lot of odd things there. And I saw this and I was like, oh my God, I have to get this.
Oh my God.
I told you. This is this awesome glass drink dispenser.
Wow.
With a bunch of like dried fruit. There's a packet in here and there's a tag on here saying sangria.
Yeah.
Now they had regular sangria. They had something that was kind of more margarita-like, something that was
just add red wine.
Yeah, just add red wine.
Shit.
Okay. No, it didn't break.
Okay.
It didn't break. See, okay,
I got this.
we're good.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah. It was
This
just
is
a little
awesome.
splash.
And this matches our new glasses.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
Well, I liked, and there was like some were pink, and there was one that was kind of like a brown color.
Wow. This is crazy.
And I thought, oh my gosh, what a fun, even if you just have water in it.
Yeah.
What a fun dispenser. I love the color green. And I thought, sangria, it's like, how bad could it be? And so I thought, what I feel like doing. Now it says to add red wine.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what all the ingredients are in there because it's still sealed.
Yeah.
But I can see there looks to be like some concentrated powder mix. There looks like there's some dried fruit slices. I see dried apple, dried orange.
Yeah. But it sounds like a good sangria.
It does. And I thought, you know what? I think instead of red, I might put white wine in here. And then because some of them, the recipes were on some. And in addition to wine, like you can add club soda.
You can do whatever you want to.
Or tonic to make it fizzy.
You know what I declare is that starting this spring or in summer, we will make a batch of whatever on every Saturday morning. Yeah. And over the course of the day, we'll drink it.
Right. So I thought my plan for this was if your brother and Sue, if they're watching, it might be a little giveaway. But my thought was that I was going to take whatever is in here and however much wine or whatever you're supposed to add, and I was going to kind of like mix it together here at home. And then when we go to their house on Christmas, I was going to bring this and then put the...
Well, if Sue and Lincoln are watching right now, I bet you they approve.
Yeah. So I was going to make this but make it out of white wine instead of the red. Yeah. And we'll just see how it is. Yeah. And if it's terrible, we'll laugh and we'll throw it away. Yeah. And if it's tasty, we'll be like, damn.
That's cool.
And we'll drink it. So anyway, I just thought these things were super cool. I was at the one on 494 and Lindale. Okay. The shops on Lindale.
Got it.
And look at this right here. $24.99.
Hell yeah.
Can't argue with that. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I thought this was great.
That's awesome.
So I had to get it.
That's awesome.
Okay, now I'm going to
Thank you, honey.
Hey, you're welcome.
You're the best.
After I got it, I remembered this webinar and I was like, oh my gosh, I am going to hide it and I'm not going to show it to you until the webinar. I was going to
until the webinar. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, let's wrap it up with that. I love the container, the gift. I've had a bunch of wine and a bunch of port and a bunch of smoking bishop and no food. So I got to figure that out.
Yeah, I haven't eaten anything since breakfast this morning.
Yeah, it might be a pizza night. We'll see what happens.
Pizza.
You want pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. All right, cool. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday night for the Festivus webinar. That's gonna be awesome.
A Festivus for the rest of us.
That's right. That's right.
I love that.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on Tuesday night. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend.